Sierra with an innovative cargo bed and LED lighting. A quiet cabin no competitor can beat. And 2 years of scheduled maintenance. Incredible thinking in the form of a truck. This month, use your special value pricing to get over $7,800 total value on this specially equipped GMC Sierra SLE.
A tornado did damage just west of Indianapolis earlier this afternoon. More and more information is coming to the Weather Channel that we'd like to show you. This is Facebook video that shows the tornado. Now, this is near Indianapolis. This is west of Indianapolis. And there is your tornado. There's no doubt about that. There were reports of trees down at that point in eastern Hendricks County, one county over from Indianapolis. And also some homes damaged, trees down on cars, that kind of thing. I believe we see the funnel cloud coming down from the low-hanging wall cloud. There's your funnel. So a couple of videos. This is Plainfield in Hendricks County, just west of Indianapolis. And we've got more information about this tornado. Here's Alex Wilson.
Thanks for staying with us. Joining me right now on the phone is Steve Penn. He's a reporter for the Hendricks County Flyer. And this one of the areas that has sustained some significant damage from a reported tornado. This in the Indianapolis metro area. And Steve, thank you so much for joining us. What have you seen thus far?
Well, I'm in the Cameron Meadows subdivision out here in Plainfield. Just a lot of damage. The first thing to report really is there's no injuries. No one's missing, but I've seen houses with about half the roof ripped off. I've seen trees on cars. Just a lot of debris out here.
And, you know, we're looking at some of your photos while we're talking to you. This first one I'm seeing appears to be a very large tree just about uprooted and knocked over with sheet metal wrapped around it.
Yeah, that was one of the scarier things that I've seen. It's a huge tree. It's just surprising how much it can get ripped out of the ground like that.
And how close is this to a home?
You know, maybe 2 or 3 feet. It could have been a lot worse. One of them, like I said, a tree fell on a car. So luckily I haven't been all the way back in the subdivision, but I haven't seen any trees on houses yet.
And give us some perspective of this area. You mentioned you're in a subdivision. Is this a fairly highly populated area?
Yeah, it's very highly populated. Houses are pretty close, and right now there's all kinds of police and fire presence out here.
And
a lot of people walking around.
And you did mention that so far you haven't heard of anybody missing or anybody injured in this case.
No, that's the silver lining. No one's hurt. No one's missing. Just a lot of damage out here.
And in talking to residents, did they get the alerts? Did they have time to seek shelter?
Yeah, it sounded like it. I talked to about 2 or 3 residents. They all said that once they heard, the classic noises of a tornado and saw the debris, they got in and they were all ready to seek shelter and everything. So that's good.
All right. And any other things that in particular have stuck with you in this one as far as damage or things that you've seen? Anything that surprised you?
I guess just whenever you're out at something like this, a fire or any kind of damage like this, to see the residents out here and talking to them, this is one of the worst days of their lives. It's just, there's a lot of people that are bummed around here.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Stephen Penn. We'll continue to check in with you as you do your reports over there in Hendricks County.
It's time for the Top 5, where we take a look at all the amazing weather videos from around the world. Look at that. This is a supercell thunderstorm in Orangeburg, South Carolina last week. In addition to the lightning, there was a reported tornado, hail, and wind damage.
How cool is that? It really does look like a strobe light almost.
It really does. Wow, a rotating supercell thunderstorm. Number 4.
Yesterday, a reported tornado ripped the roof off of a home in Brunswick, Ohio. At least 10 other homes were damaged. Many people left without power. And you can see, look at that neighborhood. Part of the siding and the wall completely removed, and that other home's roof just gone.
Number 3, check out these aerial images from Minneapolis today. Trees are submerged. That's a baseball field with the scoreboard, and a road that's flooded. Too much rain.
Incredible stuff, and more rain headed to those folks. Number 2, over the weekend in Bucharest, Romania, a large tornado captured over a farm.
Wow. My father's relatives are from Bucharest.
Oh, really?
Yes, they are.
Interesting.
Bucharest, Romania. Tornadoes can happen, not just here in the United States.
Number 1. Wow. Did that get your attention?
Whoa. And to think that that's about the size of your thumb. The width of that lightning.
And we're also pointing out a fisherman as lightning narrowly missed him in Barcelona when it struck close to a sand pit he was sitting on. That lightning strike caught on camera from a nearby parked car.
Only 7 lightning fatalities in the U.S. so far this year.
That is
Hey,
correct.
you can upload your videos anytime at weather.com/photos.
And with Lightning Safety Awareness Week, I'd like to keep it that low.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, tropical update.
Next, yeah.
Right on cue.
It's more than just a meal. It's Meow Mix Mealtime. With 100% complete and balanced nutrition and the taste, textures, and variety cats love. It's the only one cats ask for by name.
iHeartRadio is the one app where you can hear all your favorite live radio stations from all over the country. And you can create your own custom stations using your favorite artists. Millions of songs, thousands of stations, one free app. iHeartRadio is just that easy.
Currently in our area, 89 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, cloudy intervals. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 76. Wednesday, partly cloudy, chance of a thunderstorm. High 90. Here's our 7-day outlook.
That's how a home and auto bundle is made. Better he learns it here than on the streets.
The miracle of bundling. Now that's progressive.
Summer days drifting away to the summer nights. Tell me more.
Twizzlerize your summer fun with Twizzlers, the twist you can't resist.
Let's unplug the past. Let's say goodbye to those. And hello to whoa. Let's find a better way to cook this, wash that, compare those, and save these. Because you can make dinner, or you can make dinner a breeze. Are you ready? Let's do this. More saving.
Awesome is choosing from lots of exciting movies here.
Right, baby.
And enjoying classics here. Get unlimited access anywhere you want, anytime you want. Watch all your favorites commercial-free with StreamPix. Enjoy unlimited access to hit movies on your TV and mobile devices anytime, anywhere. Don't have StreamPix? Go to the Xfinity On Demand menu or call 1-800-XFINITY to upgrade for only $4.99 more a month. Start watching today.
No matter how much I loved my mother or my sisters or my wife, none of that mattered because they always came second to heroin. Everything did.
I didn't know at the time the power that the drugs had over him, and I was so afraid of losing him, and I knew enough about B-Hop, and I knew what they could do. To me, it's amazing. It's almost like I wish somebody would pinch me and make sure that, I'm not dreaming.
If someone you know is struggling with drug or alcohol addiction, please call or visit us at interventionnow.com.
Commitment to go the distance with you. Call now to request your free decision guide.
The Coasties are back. And Monday, the Weather Channel is the only place to find them. Coast Guard, Cape Disappointment. Monday nights at 9 on the Weather Channel.
52 past the hour, time for your tropical update. I'm hurricane specialist Michael Lowry. Another quiet day in the Atlantic, in large part due to those hostile winds, something that we call wind shear in the atmosphere, and that has been the story all hurricane season. Take a look at this graphic. This is showing us the average wind shear in the Caribbean as we progress through the hurricane season. So typically what happens early in the season, in June and July, wind shear starts out as high to moderate, but it drops off pretty quickly to those peak months of August, September, and October. This year, though, we haven't seen a drop-off. In fact, we've seen a rise in the wind shear, historically high wind shear values. And if you're one of the more savvy viewers at home, you might be thinking, well, doesn't El Nino have an impact on the amount of shear over the Atlantic? It absolutely does, but it's often difficult early on in an El Nino to determine whether or not the impacts we're seeing are from the El Nino. This is what an El Nino is, though. It's just a warming of the waters in the eastern Pacific. You have a lot of thunderstorms that develop, and the outflow from the thunderstorms extend over Mexico into the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean. See those strong upper level winds. That is what contributes to the wind shear, almost like shears on a garden hose. This chop off the tops of thunderstorms, and it doesn't allow those thunderstorms to grow, to cluster together, and to organize into tropical systems. But just because we're getting a developing El Nino doesn't mean we're not going to have any activity. Here are the forecasts that we're getting. The gray lines that you're seeing here are all of our different forecast models for El Nino. We're over here right now. So El Nino's knocking on the door. Not quite here yet. The forecast models generally tell us that we're going to have a weak, maybe moderate El Nino as we get into the hurricane season. But take, for example, 2004. That was a weak El Nino year, but we had a lot of storms. In fact, we had 15 named storms. 9 of those grew into hurricanes. 5 of those hurricanes made landfall. So you can have those impacts even in an El Nino year. Take, for example, 1965, a strong El Nino. Now, we didn't have as many storms. We only had 6 storms, but one of those storms happened to be Hurricane Betsy, our first billion-dollar disaster that raked over southeast Louisiana. So, look, El Nino is developing. We know it's going to impact the Atlantic in some way or another, but it's a living thing. It's an evolving thing. So we're going to watch this throughout the season, update you on its progress. The bottom line, though, today is that we're not expecting any development in the Atlantic, at least for the foreseeable future, because of that strong wind shear. Dave, Alex, back to you.
Thank you, Michael Lowry.
All right, it's time for today's Amaze Me, and it is one of our own, training to explore one of the most amazing places on Earth. When ocean explorer Fabien Cousteau told Maria LaRosa, hey, come down and visit us in Aquarius during Mission 31, she couldn't pass up the chance to actually show up to that party and see the world's only underwater habitat.
But there's one catch. Maria doesn't dive, and Aquarius is 63 feet underwater. So we followed along as Maria took the big plunge for the first time. Take a look.
My adventure began with a little nudge from renowned ocean explorer Fabien Cousteau.
Now, are you a diver?
I'm not yet.
You can be certified between now and then and come down.
Wait, me? Dive to Aquarius? Challenge accepted. Fast forward to Sea Ventures Aquatic Center for training. A lot of training.
My name is Maria. I'm a meteorologist at the Weather Channel, hence the camera.
Awkward introduction complete. I hit the books with my fellow diver wannabes.
Always have a buddy that you're diving with.
Classroom lectures and testing? Check.
Time to get suited up.
Equipment? Check. But before any fun underwater, I had to pass the dreaded 10-minute survival float. By 8 laps.
Yes! Good job.
Finally, time for full gear.
We're going to be letting a little bit of air out as we work on our buoyancy control.
And then the big moment, going under.
When people go underwater for the first time and we see them put their face in and actually transition from being a land-based mammal to being like a fish, their face and expressions are just priceless.
There were hand signals and safety procedures to master, from pulling the regulator out to dealing with a flooded mask. But it was during deep water drills when the sheer awe of being underwater hit me.
All I could think about at the bottom of this pool, which is just 12 feet, is that Fabien Cousteau and his team will be at 63 feet. And
then not just being at 63 feet, but living there for 31 days.
After intensive pool training and the required open water dives, I was finally, officially, a certified scuba diver. Next stop, Aquarius.
Is she going down?
She
Is she going
did?
to be there for 31 days?
I don't think she's going to stay the whole time.
No.
And you don't want to be the house guest that stays too long. She did it this weekend, though, so very cool stuff.
That is very, very cool. She's a
Amazing
real
to us
trooper.
that she did that. Yeah, so go her. And, you know, we've got a lot more to talk about ahead on the Weather Channel.
Like we didn't talk about enough already?
We're going to talk about, we're not going to talk. That's the good thing. We're going to let them hear from somebody else.
That somebody else would be Paul Goodloe, and the other somebody else would be Kelly Canner.
They've got nice voices as well.
Perfect.
They'll be back in 1 minute.
Currently in our area, 89 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, cloudy intervals. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 76. Wednesday, partly cloudy, chance of a thunderstorm. High 90. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Right now on Weather Center Live, we are tracking severe weather for you tonight with a tornado confirmed near Indianapolis, Indiana. Our team of experts is tracking the threat through this evening.
And we're also analyzing the pictures coming in showing the damage from this tornado. Look at this tree just uprooted and all types of debris strewn about this house and also on the sidewalk as well. Sent in from Stephen Penn from Plainfield, Indiana. From the Weather Channel headquarters in Atlanta, you are watching Weather Center Live. Hey, it's Tuesday. Thanks for joining us. I'm Paul Goodloe.
And I'm Kelly Cass. We start today off with some very strong thunderstorms lighting up the radar in many places, but especially in central Indiana earlier this afternoon. Check out this picture posted to Twitter. This was just before 3 o'clock this afternoon, showing those ominous clouds headed towards Indianapolis and Plainfield.
Yeah, a lot more damaged pictures coming in as well. These photos of damage near Indianapolis from that tornado as well. And you can see this is just several areas being impacted by severe weather. And this is from a tornado. Let's get more analysis and head right to our storm tracker, Jim Cantore. Hey, Jim.
Hey, yeah, guys, we might as well just stay right on this picture here to talk about this. This was around 2:30 to about 3 o'clock. All this went down, and we, of course, broke in with it and put it on the air for you. But let's start with this picture here. I'm not sure if National Weather Service is going to go out and survey this today. They may, but maybe we'll talk to them later and find out exactly what they're going to do. But you can see here that we've got kind of a camper trailer. Now, this is something, remember, the wind can get under, and it looks like, from the damage of the roof pretty much being laying under this where the trailer fell off. The trailer may have actually come down on parts of the roof and then fallen over here. That would certainly be my hypothesis. When you look at the rest of this roof, there are some shingles gone. You'll notice that none of the trees around here are down except for the one that the camper fell on. But, you know, this could certainly be something where a lighter wind would lift the trailer and it would fall down on the roof. Now, we saw at one point a large and extremely dangerous tornado by the National Weather Service in Indianapolis, and this is probably what they were looking at, all right? I mean, you know, it looks like you've got this monster wedge on the ground and through here. Now, unfortunately, we can't see what's going on back and through here, but you take a look at that picture, and in case that is hitting the ground, that would absolutely be a large and dangerous tornado. No question about it, something certainly that we saw around Pilger. Now, the atmosphere, unlike what we saw in Pilger, would not support what we had today. All right, and so far from some of the damage that I've seen with trees like this and the roof damage that I've seen, it's partial roof damage. It's not entire roofs ripped off. It's not entire homes destroyed. You would be somewhere in the EF1 range, certainly. That's what I'm thinking. But you know what? It's not my call. It's the Weather Service's call, and we'll find out what they find again this afternoon. Again, you can see some of the shingles gone in through here. This is still a very, very intact roof. We're going to have to obviously see repairs done here. Looks like something was thrown up at this glass window. That is damage there. This is aluminum fascia, some of the aluminum siding as well. It's gone. Looks like some damage to the vehicle here, but this is something you would see probably in EF0 damage. Again, partial roof damage up to the top. Looks like a tree's been blown over in through here. Again, notice you've still got the structure of the roof, that sound. So you put a tarp over that, you go back up, and you repair it. Now, obviously, we feel awful for all these people that have gotten their homes destroyed or damaged by a tornado. And the good news is they're mostly damaged from what we're seeing, and we hope everybody gets back on their feet. The problem is now, especially with these folks with their holes in their roof, it has been pouring in this area. So some very, very heavy rain in the tune of about 2 to 4 inches. All right, let's get in and talk about some of these radars here that's going on today, because we will have some more issues to deal with. You can see storms up into the northeast. There's Indy, certainly from what we've been talking about. Here's what's going on around Dallas. Arlington, Texas just had a gust of 60 miles per hour. That would be considered severe. And if you were tuned in this morning, you saw this big thunderstorm complex come rolling out of the Panhandle. That is just sinking to the south here and kind of linking up with this old boundary here, and now you'll notice the whole thing is starting to light up here. So definitely some very, very gusty winds, lots of lightning in through here. And look at this boundary here coming in from the southeast. So these are probably two of some of the longest thunderstorm boundaries that I've seen at once in one state currently going on. Notice they're going to intersect here, so you're probably going to see a regeneration or refiring of storms going up. And that's what you look for this time of the year. And that's why oftentimes, when you see storms go up 50, 60,000 feet and they collapse with all that rain, cool air, they are going to send out a boundary or multiple boundaries. And that's what we've got going on. You can see some of those boundaries very nicely on the Dallas radar here. And of course, some of them are sitting right over Dallas, Fort Worth, and Arlington. Now, this is something we're going to have to watch, because if this stuff decides to sit here and not rain itself out in a big hurry, remember, now you've got this heavy precipitation going on asphalt and concrete, and you wind up with a flood threat. All right, so be careful here in Dallas. So Tarrant County, watch out on the Arlington area, North Richland Hills. Again, Arlington, you've probably seen your wind, damaging wind, probably sitting right in through here. This is where this thing is going to collapse. And actually, this is probably the boundary here, which is heading down toward 183 in the Benbrook area that's associated with that. So some pretty strong winds down in this region. All right, we head up to Kansas, Dodge City. Looks like a big outflow boundary getting ready to come through there. And look at this. You can kind of see the bugs and the dust right in through here, but here comes this outflow boundary from the north. All right, the winds are prevailing from the south, and here's this outflow boundary, not only cleaning the air out, but you can see it obviously cleaning out the bugs and whatnot. Looks like some very strong winds right here. Look at that. Look at that little hook right there on that storm, which is coming off to the southeast. Not surprised in the Finney, Gray, and Kearney areas that we are seeing a severe thunderstorm warning. That looks like some pretty strong winds right in Garden City, and we'll find out there. I'll check out chat here in just a moment, and we'll get an idea of what happened there. Let's head up toward Cleveland and Ohio. Again, Indianapolis. Unfortunately, cleanup now being met in this area where we had the earlier tornado with some very, very heavy rain. A lot of this area has seen 2 to 4 inches of rain. The good news is we should get on the backside of this within the next hour for many of these areas. Again, Hamilton earlier on with that tornado warning. And a storm which is developed here just to the east of downtown Cleveland and now continues to work its way over toward Chester and Middlefield. Looks like a wind threat, maybe some small hail, but mostly wind here. And there are more storms off toward the west that we have to watch as well that may actually come in to the downtown area of Cleveland a little bit later on. So for the rest of the week, our storms will continue in the east. We're very saturated. We've got a couple of fronts. We've got a trough in the upper levels of the atmosphere sitting right in through here tomorrow. We reload the high plains in through here. And over the weekend, it certainly looks like a more significant threat. And at the bottom of the hour, I will try and talk much more about that. Guys, we'll keep you posted on the storms. Right now, let's go back to the studio.
All right, thanks, Jim. Well, in the Midwest, water levels have hardly had a chance to go down since serious flooding last week.
But because of record rainfall this June, more flooding could be on the way. We'll tell you what areas will be hit hardest. That's coming up right after your local on the 8th.
She keeps you on your toes. You wouldn't have it any other way. But your erectile dysfunction? It could be a question of blood flow. Cialis Tadalafil for daily use helps you be ready anytime the moment's right. You can be more confident in your ability to be ready. And the same Cialis is the only daily ED tablet approved to treat ED and symptoms of BPH, like needing to go frequently or urgently. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and medicines, and ask if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Do not drink alcohol in excess. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, get medical help right away for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, or any allergic reactions like rash, hives, swelling of the lips, tongue, or throat, or difficulty breathing or swallowing, stop taking Cialis and get medical help right away. Ask your doctor about experiencing Cialis for daily use and a free 30-tablet trial.
Hershey's Drops. Perfectly bite-sized drops of rich and creamy chocolate happiness. When the chocolate is Hershey's, life is delicious.
You do your swipe from anywhere thing? We'll be here at LifeLock doing our thing, watching out for your identity, data breach or not. Get LifeLock protection and live life free.
The Coasties are back.
She's going down.
And Monday, the Weather Channel is the only place to find them.
Look off to your starboard side here.
Brave Americans protecting our borders and navigating the graveyard of the Pacific Northwest. Out here, heroes come in waves. Coast Guard, Cape Disappointment. Monday nights at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 89 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, cloudy intervals. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 76. Wednesday, some clouds and possibly an isolated thunderstorm in the afternoon. High 90. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Original series.
Every time I shoot a fish, when I'm wrestling them, that's when I'm scared.
Catching Hell, Sundays at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Okay, ladies, whenever you're ready.
Thank you. Thank you. I got this.
Oh, no, I'll get it.
Let me get it. I don't want you to pay for this.
It's not happening, honey.
Let her get it. She got her safe driving bonus check from Allstate last week, and it's her treat.
What about a tip?
Oh, here's one. Get an Allstate agent.
Nice.
Switch today and get 2 safe driving bonus checks a year for driving safely, only from Allstate. Call 866-788-0900 now.
Here we go. Hold on, man. Is that a leak up there? That's a drip. Now that's a leak.
That is a leak.
And if you don't have Allstate Renters Insurance, game over.
Protect your valuables from things like water damage for as low as $4 a month when you add renter's insurance to your Allstate auto policy. Call 866-788-0900 now. And if you're a safe driver, you can save up to 45%.
Just a few more ways Allstate is changing car insurance for good.
Call an Allstate agent and get a quote now.
Hey, check out this video just shot a couple of hours ago. You can see the tornado here turning in Plainfield, Indiana. In fact, a few homes did have significant damage and lots of buildings with some minor damage as well, and plenty of trees that have been reported down, as well as power lines, and now a flash flood warning is in effect for the area until 7:30 tonight.
And speaking of flooding, we've had issues in Minnesota as well. In fact, in Prior Lake, homeowners are bracing for high water with added protection around their homes. City officials say the lake hasn't reached this level since 1983, rising to 905.7 feet. Lake levels could continue to rise, and we do have a chance for more showers and storms for the rest of this week. So record rainfall and flash flooding continue to threaten parts of the Midwest. The Twin Cities, they have had the most rainfall to start off the year since 1871.
And all that happening while much of the country is caught in the grip of a history-making drought. NBC's John Yang reports.
Minnesota's the land of 10,000 lakes, and today it looks as if residents are living in the middle of them. In Prior Lake, outside the Twin Cities, a race against time as homeowners sandbag their homes. Storms spawned funnel clouds over Hastings, Minnesota. In Minneapolis, more heavy rain prompted new concerns of fresh erosion at the mudslide near the University of Minnesota's Medical Center. With some Iowa and Minnesota crops underwater, there's not much those farmers can do.
Hopefully we'll be able to replant some of the soybeans that were damaged. On the corn side, it's a little late for that.
In a matter of days, parts of the region got as much as 10 inches of rain, a normal rainfall for 2 weeks. In June alone, Sioux Falls, South Dakota has gotten more than 13 inches of rain. That's more than half the average total for a year.
Over a dozen states are going to see showers and thunderstorms. Some of them will be severe, from the high plains all the way from Texas on up into Ohio.
Meanwhile, the National Climatic Data Center said that around the world last month was the warmest May on record. On the West Coast, the problem's not enough rain. California's suffering an exceptional drought, with some areas rationing water.
If it does not rain this fall, we have a nightmare of incalculable proportions.
As June has been a month of weather extremes. John Yang, NBC News, Chicago.
Let's stay in the Midwest right now. To the upper Midwest we go in Minneapolis. The Twin Cities dealing with a few clouds out there. Most of the showers have been off to our east and northeast. Right now sitting at 81 degrees. What a gorgeous summer day. And in fact, we should stay dry today, maybe even tomorrow, before another chance of showers and thunderstorms start to move back in. That will do nothing but continue our flood threat across the region. Again, a few scattered showers have pushed east and stayed north and east of town. But right now, just a kind of a pretty nice summer afternoon. Perhaps fire up the grill, pop up the backyard umbrella on the deck, and enjoy the evening. More rain, though, across northern Minnesota, and a few storms are now popping up across areas in northern and northwestern Wisconsin. But the concern now is this entire region has had their fair share of heavy rain-producing thunderstorms, and a few more storms are popping up here. But we could see more rain in areas that don't need it. Take a look at some of the peak areas here. Basically, the Twin Cities into northern Iowa, back onto northeastern Nebraska, into South Dakota. A foot to a foot and a half of rain has fallen in just the last, 24 days. In some areas, that's a half a year of rainfall. We have rivers running high, river flood warnings, including the Missouri River here, getting into Kansas City, and the Mississippi just north of St. Louis under a river flood warning. And as we head through Sunday with more rain in the forecast, many areas can see an additional 2, 3, maybe even 5 more inches of rain that will cause more flooding. Kelly?
Well, a relatively quiet day in the Atlantic today, but there is an area that we're keeping an eye on in the Pacific. We'll let you know when Mexico could see a potential threat.
If you have moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis like me, and you're talking to your rheumatologist about a biologic, this is Humira. This is Humira helping to relieve my pain. This is Humira helping me lay the groundwork. This is Humira helping to protect my joints from further damage. Doctors have been prescribing Humira for 10 years. Humira works by targeting and helping to block a specific source of inflammation that contributes to RA symptoms. Humira is proven to help relieve pain and stop further joint damage in many adults.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal events such as infections, lymphoma, or other types of cancer have happened. Blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure have occurred. Before starting Humira, your doctor should test you for TB. Ask your doctor if you live in or have been to a region where certain fungal infections are common. Tell your doctor if you have had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have symptoms such as fever, fatigue, cough, or sores. You should not start Humira if you have any kind of infection.
Take the next step. Talk to your doctor. This is Humira at work.
It's your time at Best Western this summer, so enjoy your family time, your breakfast time, and your adventure time, and get a free night for your next time. Stay 3 separate times and get a free night. Book now at bestwestern.com.
New Hershey Spreads. Bring the delicious taste of Hershey's chocolate to anything. Everything. With new Hershey Spreads, the possibilities are delicious.
At GMC, one incredible idea leads to another. Like the all-new GMC Sierra with an innovative cargo bed and LED lighting. A quiet cabin no competitor can beat. And 2 years of scheduled maintenance. Incredible thinking in the form of a truck. This month, use your special value pricing to get over $7,800 total value on this specially equipped GMC Sierra SLE.